Then, in order to not raise suspicion, use Polyjuice Potion to take his place. So he might have taken him out. If that's true, says Hermione, then it's possible a wizard may have been reported deceased or missing around the same time. That's why I went ahead and pulled ministry records of all deaths and disappearances nearing the date Gareth first noticed the changes to Theus. Look at Hermione putting it together. I wonder how Hermione is faring. She's been rather secretive about this investigation of hers, hasn't she? Becomes Hermione. Possibly. So far, all I have is circumstantial evidence, but I may have an idea on how to prove or disprove my theory. Why don't we give you a hand? Thanks for the offer, Harry, but I think it'd be best you and Constance stay the course, at least for now. This discovery could have serious, wide-ranging implications. I don't want to point any fingers until I'm absolutely certain. First, Hermione has a lead and is waiting to point fingers. She doesn't want to be wrong. So, who is she pointing fingers at? Is it someone we know, or is it someone Harry or Constance knows, which in all likely we should know, at least? Yo, this is your boy James over at XpectoGO, bringing you guys the latest and greatest of Wizards Unite content. And today, your boy is tired. So we're gonna start with the dialogue, continuing from part 1, as you guys saw the recap at the beginning of the video. So dialogue for part 2 starts with Harry. How goes your investigation, Hermione? Are you ready to share yet? Hermione. Unfortunately, my theory didn't pan out. I'm afraid we've hit another dead end. What? That never happens to Hermione. Constance. So, what now? The witches and wizards Gareth Greengrass outed as members of the Unforgivable are still in hiding. There's no trace of who abducted Penelope for the second time. And now even Hermione is stumped. Hermione. I'm going to use the Calamity to reach out to Grim again. Yes! Talk to Grim, man. Give me Grim and Penelope. He can't stop the Calamity without putting Penelope at risk, but it might be possible to help each other get what we want while staying under the Unforgivable's radar. Now, that still might be tough because there's a theory that Theus or someone in the Unforgivable is a legitimate and able to pierce through Cat's mind, so they might be doing that with members of the task force, or like my last title of the part 1 Burning Day, we could have another mole still, like Gareth wasn't the only mole. So Harry, you can sell joke products to Filch. Alrighty, if anyone can convince Griff that working with us is in his and Penelope's best interest, it's you. Let's go, Harry. And that's the opening dialogue. So again, I'm a day behind, but I have been making progress. So I'm on task number 3, and I gotta find these freaking mountain trolls. Yo, it's so cool, and I can't wait to see what happens. So let's do this. Yo, this is your boy James over at XpectoGO, bringing you guys the latest and greatest in Wizards Unite content. And today is a day we all kinda saw coming, just not this soon. And that is the announcement of Harry Potter Wizards Unite officially closing in January of 2022. It was just announced literally like 30 minutes ago. I figure let's talk. Let's talk. All right, so this is the last day of the Brilliant event, Burning Day Part 2. And as you guys are aware by the time this video is up, a lot has happened since I started filming up to this point. So that being the case, we still have a dialogue to react to. So we had our first note piece, and here we go. Let's see what it says. Constance, Hermione, one of our volunteers, recovered a piece of parchment with writing on it from that last foundable. This must be the response from Grim. Yes, we're reaching out to Grim again. Okay, we've been expecting. Constance, tell the SOS Task Force to be on high alert for additional pieces. It's imperative we learn the contents of this note. Constance, Hermione, are you absolutely certain that you've actually been talking to Grim? I'm worried this could be one of the Unforgivable's traps. I'd be fooling myself if I said that wasn't a possibility, says Hermione. The author's handwriting, mannerisms, and delivery do match what we've come to expect from Grimm, but that could theoretically be faked. What? Still, I've decided to go along with it. We may never end the calamity if we don't earn Grimm's trust and cooperation, but that I'm willing to take the risk. So Hermione's saying, yo, it can't be faked. Has somebody been faking it the entire time? Alright, the fifth note piece is now available, and they have been mad hard to find. But, Hermione, Constance, look at this. Grimm's agreed to meet with us. He wants you to come alone. Wait, he wants you to come alone. Isn't that a bit suspicious? Grimm is essentially a wanted criminal on the run from both the Ministry and Unforgivable. It's no surprise he's cautious. I know, I should be excited at the prospect of meeting Grimm. After all, I have hundreds of questions I'd like to ask him, but I can't help but be concerned that you're walking into a trap. I appreciate your concern, Constance, but I can hold my own. I'd rather you focus your energy on finding the remaining pieces of the note. We need to know when and where Grimm wants to meet. Wait, so Grimm just is cool meeting now? What's changed? Alright, we just got our 10th note piece. And oh my gosh, I am struggling to find brilliant foundables. I hope I can finish this in time. Alright, Constance, I have good news and bad news, Hermione. The good news is we found the last piece of Grimm's note. Bad news is it appears to be written in code. Grimm in code again. Oh my gosh, this is a callback. Okay, it looks like the same code Grimm and Penelope used in their secret letters. Oh, come on. Grimm and Penelope. If that's true, I should be able to use the ones we have in our evidence cabinet to decrypt the meetup location. Had my doubts, but this does seem to support your belief that you've been communicating with the real Grimm, doesn't it? Though that doesn't mean you should let your guard down. Grimm's already proven that he's willing to do just about anything to get Penelope back. There's no telling what his intentions may be. Yo, he still don't trust nobody. Hermione, I suppose we'll know the truth about that and much more, I suspect, soon enough, won't we? Yo, we did get the 15 note pieces, so now we're going to start placing some images on the page so we can get some dialogue. So, Grimm apparently has reached out via the mysterious note pieces in code like he used to do with Penelope, so let's go. And he only wants to talk to Hermione alone. So, that's where we left off. Yo, I just want Penelope and Grimm, Theus or something. Ron. I remember the day we were both appointed Gryffindor prefects. You made sense. You always were a perfectionist. But if I'm being honest, my badge probably should have gone to Harry. According to Harry, Dumbledore thought he already had enough on his plate. But I like to believe that Dumbledore wanted to teach you a little responsibility too, says Hermione. Ron, not sure how well that lesson took. Remember when I spent a week's pay trying to complete my chocolate frog card collection? Ron, I'm not sure whether to be upset that you wasted all the money or happy that another memory's returned. Now I remember why I never planned to tell you that. Ron, always cutting the tension, man. Love it. Okay, Harry, I've been thinking, what if no one noticed anything unusual the day Penelope's portrait went missing because nothing unusual happened? As in, you don't think her portrait was really stolen? No, I believe the person responsible was either a member of our team, thank you, or under a legitimist, like under the control of legitimist, assigned to investigate Garrett's office, or someone assuming the appearance of one. That's certainly a possibility, isn't it? Particularly given the Unforgivable's history of using Polyjuice Potion. This is correct, Constance. I'm going to go over my notes from my earlier interviews and compose a list of everyone who was seen entering Garrett's office around that time. I have a good feeling that will lead us to our culprit. Let me see. All right, let's do forensic. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah. Harry's decided to issue awards for information on the whereabouts of the witches and wizards Garrett identified as members of the Unforgivable. It's a good idea, but even if we do get those dark witches and wizards off the streets, it's not likely they'd be able to tell us anything about the Unforgivable without breaking their unbreakable vows. I'm trying to stay positive that we'll manage to stop the calamity and the Unforgivable in the end, but it's hard not to feel discouraged after so many setbacks and dead ends, isn't it? Who is she talking to? Hermione. Oh, okay. She's talking to Hermione. Don't worry, Constance. The Unforgivable are clever, but they're not infallible. They will make a mistake eventually. Our job will be to keep diligent and be ready to capitalize on it when the time comes. I just feel like Hermione still has like something up her sleeve, because she had a theory before. And she kept talking about pointing to someone. So, I mean, is it constant? All right, Harry, have you noticed that Ron is starting to recall more than just his memories of our first 5 years at Hogwarts? After returning a confoundable last surge, Ron suddenly remembered going to the 2014 Quidditch World Cup. Funny, I was about to ask you the same question. Returning a foundable of George last wave made Ron remember becoming the co-manager of Weasley's Wizard Wheezes. Then today, a Grop foundable prompted Ron to recall introducing Rose to Hugo for the first time. All of these memories seem to be connected to the original memory that spawned the foundable. Watching Victor as both the 1994 and 2014 Quidditch World Cups, Fred and George founding the joke shop, and later bringing Ron on. Hagrid and Rose bonding with their siblings. Up until now, only the shared memories were specifically manipulated. The Calamity to steal would be returned to Ron. Could the Calamity's hold on Ron's memories be weakening? So everybody's just, what is happening? It's just like we're talking about stuff we already know. And here's the last piece. All right, here we go. Hermione, I managed to get in touch with Grimm again via the Calamity. It took quite a lot of back and forth, but he's willing to consider cooperating. Let's go. Cooperating with us. Really? But Grimm just told us last surge that Unforgivable are holding Penelope hostage and that he won't risk doing anything that will put her in danger. Oh yeah, true. Which is why he hasn't agreed to anything yet. So far, Grimm's only considering the idea of meeting to discuss how we can help each other. You might meet Grimm in person? When? Where? I'm expecting a follow-up message from him anytime now. If he agrees to meet, he said he'll include a time and location. If he turns us down, well, we'll have to go back to the drawing board, won't we? He has to be there. He has to be there. Oh, closing dialogue. All right, there we go. I'm not sure why you asked me to go in your stead to the meeting with Grimm, but it was good you did. It was an ambush. I managed to fend the attackers off, but only because I was on high alert. Grimm must have set us up. The notes were fake. He couldn't have, because Grimm didn't write the letter. He never agreed to meet either. In fact, I was never in touch with him at all. I fabricated those letters and the meeting to his... Oh! Expose Constance. Wait, how? She did the polyjuice. No, Constance, I'm sorry. I did suspect you might be the mole. That's why I put Veritas serum in your tea when you weren't looking. I'm not proud of it, but it had to be. Yo, truth serum. Hermione is, yo, what in the world? Yo, I'm not proud of it, but it had to be served. After all, you had access to all the leaked intelligence, and some of your comments did raise red flags. The Unforgivable always being one step ahead, and so engrossed in rooting out the mole that I started looking at you as a suspect rather than a friend. So this seems to be Constance not being the mole, apparently. I still think it's someone in the SOS task force, or at least in the Ministry of Magic. No, Constance. I know finding Grimm was sort of my idea, but where do we even start? Gareth had apparently been searching for Grimm ever since Grimm cast a foundable spell, and he still couldn't figure out where Grimm had gone. Okay, so Constance's idea was to find Grimm to stop the calamity. The Unforgivable want the calamity still going. Don't want Grimm to stop it. Is that clear Constance? Does that not clear Constance and mean Constance just wants Grimm, if she's part of the Unforgivable, so she can take out the loose end, which is Grimm, get rid of Penelope, and keep the calamity up forever? I'm sorry about lying about my investigation, but with your frankly lackluster occlumency skills, which means he's not good at resisting legitimate attack on his mind. We saw that with that. Expose Constance. How? Hold on a moment. You think Constance is involved with the Unforgivable? That's not possible. She wouldn't. Where's this coming from? My suspicion started in earnest when I discovered that Constance's grandfather, Matthias Pickering, went missing around the time the Unforgivable's leader was secretly replaced. But it wasn't until Constance changed the location of the meeting place in my letter that I was certain. I knew the Unforgivable wouldn't miss an opportunity to get their hands on Grimm. Oh my gosh. Yo, Hermione, yo. Hermione with the mind games. Wait. No! That's it? Okay, all right, I was in such a shock that I tapped the last part of the dialogue away. How? Okay, let me finish reading and then I gotta digest this. I had to digest this. Okay, so Constance changed the location of the meeting place in the letter that I was certain. I knew the Unforgivable wouldn't miss an opportunity to get their hands on Grimm, so I went to the real meeting place disguised as him. Sure enough, Constance, using Polyjuice to assume my appearance, showed up to capture me. I managed to detain her, but there's no telling what she's capable of. What in the world? Is she even Constance? Is that like even a thing? She's changing, like, she could be somebody else. Constance could be an entirely new person. But no, they said the grandfather though. My suspicions started earnest when discovered that Constance's grandfather, Matthias Pickering, went missing around the time the Unforgivable's leader was secretly replaced. Oh my gosh, but it wasn't until Constance changed. Okay, so there was a form of dialogue from Hermione. I want to say part 2 of the last Brilliant event, maybe even, where she was talking to Harry and she was saying that Theus and the one impersonating Theus are similar. Seems these two imposters were more alike than Gareth thought. And that's it. I had thought, yo, maybe twins. Because I was like, okay, if they're more similar to appear, then there's a relationship there. More so, a family relationship. Her grandfather's mantle makes sense also. She would know her grandfather. She would have a connection there if she would take up such a huge mantle in the first place. Also, I thought of a family resemblance between the two. Did Grimm know? Because he has been staying away from the task force. Now, one would think, hey, because he's upset that they canceled the search for Penelope way back when all of this started. But he's been helping them find the London Five while on his quest to get Penelope. So, but Constance is trapped. So she took it. She took Penelope's portrait. And she's probably hiding it. Constance is like more of a threat than anybody. Low key, too. Playing stupid, but like, oh my gosh. Yo. They gotta answer how she got around the polyjuice, around the truth serum. How she was embedded. Like, how did Gareth not know? Yo, there's so many questions now. There's so many questions. Oh my God. Constance, oh my gosh. And she's, Hermione, man. Hermione. Let's go, man.